In the world of cryptocurrencies, Bitfinex is a name that has resonated in the ears of investors and enthusiasts since its inception in 2012. But in August 2016, this giant in the cryptocurrency world was shaken by a daring theft that would bring it great problems and completely destroy the trust of its customers. An incredible scam, so astonishing that even today, we do not have the details of how the peculiar perpetrators who carried it out managed to succeed. Today, we will explore the dark corridors behind the Bitfinex heist, discover who were the masterminds behind the scam, and how they were eventually caught. The Crocodile of Wall Street. To fully grasp the context of these events, we need to rewind to the year 1990 in Tehama, California, where one of the key figures in this story was born. Heather, also known in the rap world as Razzlecon. Heather hailed from a middle-class family. Her parents were a government biologist and a high school librarian. Heather was a child of exceptional intelligence, consistently lauded by her teachers throughout her school years. Thanks to these abilities, in her adolescence, she managed to secure a spot at the University of California, ultimately obtaining a degree in economics. This educational achievement paved the way for her professional career, leading her to secure employment in Hong Kong and later contributing to the authorship of books such as Food Security and Socio-Political Stability, co-authored with her former professor, Travis Libert. Libert would later comment in the media that Heather possessed exceptional intelligence and a remarkable capacity for learning. However, what Professor Libert didn't know was that Heather would eventually employ these very talents to perpetrate a fraud that would profoundly impact the cryptocurrency landscape, particularly Bitcoin, and the stability of a company as significant as Bitfinex. After her adventures in various countries in Asia and Africa following her work in Hong Kong, Heather made the decision to relocate to Silicon Valley, aiming to capitalize on the technological boom and the abundant opportunities it offered. Her initial foray into success was marked by the founding of a company called SalesFolk, specializing in crafting content for email marketing. This venture not only enabled Heather to expand her network of contacts, but also led her to cross paths with her future husband, Ilya Liechtenstein. For those acquainted with Liechtenstein, he was a somewhat peculiar individual, shy and introverted, with a habit of consistently describing himself as a tech entrepreneur, explorer, and occasional magician. According to accounts, Heather's spirited and spontaneous personality immediately captivated him when he heard her perform an Eminem song at a business event they both attended. The hacking. In August 2016, at a time when the crypto world was gaining more and more enthusiasts, thanks in part to the promise of reliability, security, and anonymity that was being advertised about cryptocurrencies, Bitfinex, one of the largest cryptocurrency administrators at that time, made a devastating announcement. A hacker had stolen 119,754 bitcoins from the wallets of approximately 2,000 users in just under 4 hours, a record that has only been surpassed to this day by the theft of 744,000 BTC from Mt. Gox, a topic we will address in an upcoming video. At that time, this number of cryptocurrencies was valued at approximately $65 million. Today, it would be worth approximately $5 billion. These were transferred through a large number of transactions to various wallets. Tactics for the heist. Despite this peculiar pair of an entrepreneur, explorer, and occasional magician, with an international economist, serial entrepreneur, investor, book writer, and rapper, not having the appearance of multimillionaire supercriminals, in the investigations following the massive theft, the Department of State reported that the system they had used to commit their crime consisted of a complex transaction automation system that sent funds from Bitfinex user accounts to various accounts created with false identifications in a very short time, hosted on various cryptocurrency exchanges or in the dark web, and controlled by Liechtenstein and Morgan, only to later convert them into other cryptocurrencies that were even harder to trace. This made it nearly impossible for investigators to follow the money trail. It is important to mention that this is only part of the process that was carried out for the cryptocurrency theft and subsequent money laundering. In reality, much of the strategy used by this strange couple remains a mystery. At this point, our story begins to take shape, and we understand much of the context, but so far we have omitted a fundamental part. How were they caught? Unfortunately for this couple, there is a government agency that knows everything, hears everything, sees everything, and its investigators seem to be direct disciples of Sherlock Holmes. We are clearly referring to the IRS. In 2017, investigators who were tracking the stolen cryptocurrencies learned that some of them were arriving in transactions made by Morgan and Liechtenstein at Alpha Bay Market. This is a marketplace hosted on the dark web where all kinds of legal and illegal goods and services are traded. These movements on the platform signaled to IRS investigators, and thanks to a set of coincidences, they were able to obtain a massive number of files and confidential information from the marketplace, where a portion of the money stolen by Heather and her partner was located. This, along with some imprudent actions such as buying $5,000 in Walmart gift cards, purchasing gold, and paying for extravagant events like their wedding engagement and subsequent wedding celebration, where they amazed, amused, and unsettled guests with their strange personalities and the type of performances they offered. The fall. In early 2022, the IRS finally decided to take action after several years of tracking and amassing a vast amount of evidence against Heather and her husband. A judge granted investigators a search warrant for Morgan's residence in New York, and they immediately got to work. They arrived at the suspect's residence and began the search, where they quickly found all sorts of incriminating material such as hard drives, smartphones, and laptops. In one of the most significant discoveries, investigators found access to a cloud folder containing all the usernames and passwords belonging to the couple, where they still stored a significant portion of the stolen cryptocurrencies. Thanks to this, they were able to recover 94,000 bitcoins. They were literally in possession of one of the largest illegal fortunes in the world. This was because at the time of the theft, Bitcoin was valued at $613 per unit, while in 2022 it had a market price of $38,940. This means that in the confiscated wallets alone, they had $3,660,360,000, enough to place Heather and Ilya in Forbes' list of the world's richest people. Something they hid relatively well, as despite their eccentric personalities, such as Morgan being an article writer for Forbes and at the same time a rapper with a rather unusual style, they did not possess luxurious or extravagant possessions like mansions, yachts, or even a cheap personal car. Finally, the couple was apprehended on charges of conspiracy and money laundering. After multiple trials, pleas of innocence, and, particularly in Heather's case, cooperation agreements in the investigation, they have been found guilty of money laundering and conspiracy to defraud the United States. However, they have not yet been sentenced due to the cooperation agreements in the ongoing investigation. Currently, the former billionaire couple is not allowed contact. Heather is out on bail, while Liechtenstein is behind bars as a preventive measure due to the risk of fleeing to Russia, his home country. This concludes, for now, the story of Wall Street's crocodile and the mysterious billion-dollar heist they carried out against thousands of Bitcoin users. Thanks for watching until the end of the video, and we hope you support us with a like and subscribe for this and the stories we will be sharing soon. Until next time.